Welcome to Bogwell's Boulevard in Concord once again. I'm Jim Rivers along with Rich Migliani, and we begin the semifinal round of this Yankee Championship Bowling Series. And at least on paper, we may have a classic matchup. The defending champion, Allyn Joy, and the reigning men's state champion, Steve Vadney, a guy coming off a 488 triple that they are still talking about here at Bogwell's, that 195 single. Started off with 3 strikes and just never looked back.
Oh, just Super Bowl, and maybe none of us will ever see anything like it again, but on paper, like you said, Jim, this is a classic.
Here's Steve. Steve from the Sunset Lanes in Newport has a 129 average, a high single of 197, a high triple of 488, and works for the Storm Ruger Company in Newport as an assembler. And he arrived here by defeating Danny Broder of Concord and John Potorsky out of Massachusetts. His opponent, our defending champ, Allyn Joy, out of the state of Maine, from Westbrook, Maine, does his bowling at the Pride's Corner, and he is a fire extinguisher recharger, and he's going to have to extinguish a fire here tonight the way Vadney's been bowling. Married with a couple of children, has a high single of 211, so he's capable of the big numbers, and he has a high 10 of 1431, and his average is 125, and he arrived here by beating a couple of Concord area bowlers, Phil King and Smigliani.
Something like that.
Yeah. He's the one that was the manufacturer of your 322.
Has been.
That's right. So there's the lineup for tonight. Allyn Joy and Steve Vadney. We think we're in for an outstanding matchup. Don't forget our address for the Yankee Championship Bowling Series. It's 8 Commercial Street in Concord. What do we have? About $67?
$67, I believe.
$67. Good at your local Shaw's supermarkets. So sit back. We have a couple of breaks coming up from our good sponsors. Grab yourself some refreshments and get ready for Allyn Joy and Steve Vadney. We'll have it in just a moment. Now, Steve Vadney, I don't think he's going to start off the way he did 2 weeks ago, but you never know here.
Yeah, we start off.
Hey, he's human.
3 strikes in a row 2 weeks ago.
A lot can happen in 2 weeks, though.
Right. I think Allyn Joy would rather bowl a Steve Vadney that was extremely hot 2 weeks before than one that won with a low-scoring match. There's a big ball. There's a strike. Boy, it seems like on that left-hand lane, the Shaw's lane, lane 20 here at Bowell, Steve is throwing strikes practically every other box.
And Allyn Joy with his Pride's Corner bowling and recreation shirt.
See how Allyn starts. The history on Allyn on this show so far, he's gotten off to kind of slow starts.
Matches Vadney's 9.
Well, there's a 3-6 with a 4-pin. He's going to have to cut the 3 over towards a 4. Well, this is Allyn Joy's 7th appearance over the last 2 weeks. He's beaten 6 opponents so far. Let's watch this replay of Steve's first strike here in the second box. Right into the 1-3 pocket, and the 5-pin kicks out last. It's a little bit tight in his first ball. He's up the 2-4-6. Working on the strike. Oh, nice try.
Through 3 for Vadney.
Oh, the winner of this match advances to the big bucks final. pin still shaking. The 5 pin still shaking down there. The 5, 7, 8. Oh, right around that 7 pin.
All right, Allyn, sure, there's the score for you at home. He is looking at 2 opens. Chance to pick up the 9 pins that he trails by, right on the head pin.
2 full on it. Now Allyn's going to have to settle for a 9 in his 3rd box. Well, Steve Vadney's off the 9-pin lead through the first 3 boxes. Once again, Allyn Joy chops right through the middle.
Pin lead.
Sort of a feeling out process here, 46 to 37. There's that strike by Steve.
Nice shot.
Boy, he's thrown a lot of strikes in his 2 weeks ago in this match. Got 2 already in this match. Ooh, it's a little full. Fills that strike with a 7, giving him 63 through 5 boxes.
He had 6 strikes in that match, and he threw the 488. So he's got 8 strikes in his last 2 appearances.
Here's a replay of his latest strike. Watch that 6-pin kick out of there.
Back live with Allyn Joy.
Chops right through.
Pin difference now as he steps on over to the Shaw's lane 20.
You see the difference in the match is the 2 strikes thrown by Steve Vadney. Al has the 4 horsemen. He has a wood in between the 4 and the 7. There's his first back. With a triangle leave, has a wood on the 4-pin. Perfect. Makes it look easy. Big ball. There's a 10-pin. 10-pin single. Still shaking down there. Right on it. Big ball by Allyn Joy. Look at that, slow motion strike. That took a while, but it still counted.
Also brings him right back into the match.
Yeah, 6 pins down. There's some more, same type ball. They're still shaking down there. There's a 3 and a 6. Right on it. We've got a match.
5-pin difference, and both bowlers working on a spare, so we're back pretty much even.
Well, that's the way Allyn Joy started his last match against me. I think he got 4 or 5 straight opens. Then he marked out in the first string with 5 or 6 in a row. Oh, Steve got a tough break there. He has the 5-9, but he has the 7-pin. 108 through 8.
The winner here moves into championship in 2 weeks.
Nice light hit.
Not a bad lead, though.
The problem here will be that 8-pin sleeper in the back. Then he carried it. Nice shot. Well, 128 in the ball. It's going to be another good string. Steve Vadney. Nine-pin drop. 137.
Not bad at all.
Good start.
Figured he had a 46 after 4. So he came on strong in his last 6 boxes. He had 3 marks, 3 spares, and a strike, 4 marks.
All good fills in his marks. Oh, Allyn Joy got a tough chop right through the middle. 3 and a spare. Those are the ones that hurt. Nice shot.
Well, that 10-pin has had the shakes, hasn't it, this series?
So shake, I know.
We'd like a mark right here to bring it back a little bit closer.
It was 11 down through 9, but Steve Vadney got a spare 9 in the last box. And Allyn chops through again. Oh, just missed it. Just went by that 3-pin.
So Vadney is going to have himself a nice little lead after the first string. Pin lead for the current men's state champion, Steve Vadney, and Allyn Joy 116, Vadney 137, as you can see there. But still anybody's match.
Oh, yeah, 21 pins to these 2 bowlers doesn't mean much, but it's a nice lead. You'd rather be up 21 than down.
Yeah, and I think, like you say, one of the differences, the fill for Vadney. He had a 9-7-9 in his last 3 marks, and that 3 for Allyn Joy kind of hurt him.
Yeah, that chop up the middle really killed his momentum. He had a spare, then a strike, and he chopped 3 up the middle and killed the spare, plus he gave him a poor frame in the 9th box.
We have Lucky Roll segment coming up, and we have $67 good in certificates at Shaw's for groceries and our mailing address for you at home. I know we're coming down to the championship matchup, Yankee Championship Bowling, 8 Commercial Street in Concord, but we will be coming up with more bowling for you. I know the very popular mixed doubles and senior citizens and children's series that we had last year, we are going to bring back and repeat, so check with your local Yankee cable network station to see when they'll be coming on, and then we'll be coming back with another men's series later on towards the fall. So this will be our last men's series for a while, but the youngsters and the senior citizens and the mixed doubles went over real well.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Coming up, Lucky Roll, $67 to give away, and we'll be back. Those of you out there who'd like to try and make it on this program, don't forget to check with your local bowling houses. They will be having the roll-offs in not the near future, but it'll be coming up probably sometime in the summer, so you might check in, ask when the roll-offs are, and then you too can take part in Yankee Championship Bowling, which is viewed in many locations around the state. Lucky rule, we have $67 to give away. That address, once again, if you want to grab a pencil and jot it down, is 8 Commercial Street in Concord, in care of Yankee Championship Bowling. Also, tapes of any individual program that you see, whether it's the bowling or any of our specials, available if you send along a check for $40 in care of Lorraine. Let's get down to Rich Smigliani.
Well, thank you. We haven't had a winner in a while, Steve. We're up to $67. Let's dig in deep here. Thank you. The name is Hazel Gordon. I think we had her a couple weeks ago from 35 Chestnut Street in Rochester, New Hampshire. Steve will be shooting for $67 for Hazel. Steve throws a good ball even during a lucky roll. It's an 8. 8's been the magic number lately here, Steve. Looking for an 8 for Hazel Gordon of Rochester, New Hampshire. Coming up, coming up. And we have it. We finally have a winner, Hazel Gordon. We'll send out to you $67 and a Shaw certificate. You can do your shopping over there around the Rochester area. They'll bring our jackpot back to $25. We'll be back for our second string action right after these messages.
.21 pins. Starts out with a 4 drop.
Oh, nice shot. Up the 4 pin. There's a big ball. Elusive 10 pin. Right on it. We have a famous bowler keeping score for our viewers here, Jim.
That's right, Easy at Emerson. Not for the viewers, but for those here.
Well, the viewers here at Bowell's today, yeah. He has a Diet Pepsi in one hand and a pencil in the other. Of course, he'll be bowling next week. Nice try by Steve, 7-10. There's a good ball. A bad split. He has the 9 and the 7 and wood in front of the 9. Right around it.
All right, with 2 opens, Allyn is short of cutting that lead in half.
And 19 pins less this ball. Off the head pin, you get 6 on the spare.
Now down by 13 pins.
This is the alley 20. It seems it's been most of the marks have been on for some reason. Maybe just my imagination, Jim. It seems like most of the strikes have been on the Shaw's lane there. Nice shot. Oh, Allyn left up the 7 pin.
Yeah, now he too will leave 2 opens for Steve Vadney.
There's a chance for Steve to get his lead back again or even increase it.
There it is. With Sonny Zebart, our official scorer for you at home.
Steve with the 4-7, the 10-pin check. Oh, there's a great break.
That's a big break right there.
10-pin kicked over. Oh, he missed it to the right. Just caught the edge of that wood. I think Steve knew it as soon as he let it go. Rushed it maybe a little bit.
Rick up 90, Allyn ready.
Slow pace here starting the second game, both bowlers. Steve with a spread eagle. High shot.
And he's unable to take advantage. He is going to leave 2 opens. 3 in a row for Steve. 4 in a row.
4 in a row counting this box. There's a super 10 though. We talked about
get 10 pins added onto his lead though.
15-pin lead, right?
Yeah, 15-pin lead.
15-pin lead. Steve Vadney over Allyn Joy. There's a big ball by Allyn Joy. They had 10-pin again. Rocking. Oh, he missed it to the left. Both bowlers missing spare leaves. Both bowlers struggling here in the second game. There's a big ball, and there's the strike on that left-hand lane. Costly spare that Allyn missed in a 5th box. Would have meant another 10 pins for him. Here's a good break. Steve says the 3-6. Right on it. Little full. I'd like to have seen that 2-pin go. He's going to have to cut the 3 over.
We're tied though through 5, so he's back up to that 21-pin lead.
Steve gave it a shot over to the left. Here's Allyn's last strike. Solid hit. He's working on that strike right. He's trailing now by 20 pins in a match, minus 2 balls on this strike. Big ball there. Oh, look at that lead. Broke up the 10. There's the 5-7. I don't know if that wood's at a good enough angle to carry over. Go way on the right. Not quite.
All right, he's down by 11 now. Picks up 10 pins.
There's a big ball. There once again on that left-hand lane, we have another strike.
We knew going in that it was going to end up as quite a match before we were done. I think it's headed that way, Rich.
Well, I hope so. With the last 2 weeks, we've had a couple of runaways. Steve with a split. See if he kicks that over. There's the extra pin again. Once here's the lead that Steve missed last time, the 4-7. Not this time. Right on it.
I'd like to back it up with a mark right here because he's working against Allyn Joy's strike in 8.
Right. Let's see what he has for Phil. 4 horsemen, but he has a nice wood in between a 1 and a 3 pin. Hits that head pin. It should carry through. It does. That was a nice wood, well set up.
Bingley, any party, Elaine's ready.
Here's Allyn Joy's last strike. Right into the 1-2 pocket. 1-3 pocket, excuse me, on this strike. He chops 2 on it. Fills it with a 7. Well, Steve could get his lead right back again. Oh, what a shot. Oh, the 8 pin. Never moved.
All right.
The net party, Elaine's ready.
Another subpar string for Allyn Joy, 115, and gives him a total of 231 through 2. A 116 and a 115.
That's right. His average is 125.
Steve's got a chance to pull to a bigger lead here. Fills that spare with 7.
17-pin lead, but he's facing 2 open frames. Really do well to take advantage of this too, Rich.
Yeah, he'd like to get a spare in this upcoming box.
Back to an 18-pin lead.
18, and he's up against a 9 box here in the final frame. Oh, he leaves another split. 3-6-10 with a 4 pin. There's a wood in behind the 3. Over on the 4 now. Two full.
So Allyn Joy is going to win this strike. But he needed to win it big.
Oh, Steve comes up with an 8 box.
So it'll be a 248 to 231, 17 pins. So Allyn Joy managed to chop 4 pins off the lead, and I guess you could look at it on either side. Steve wishes he could have marked one of those last 2 to open up a more sizable lead going into the 3rd, and conversely, Allyn probably sitting there saying, boy, if I could have marked there, I'd have it in half. But still, 17 pins, it's a close match, and it'll be interesting coming down this 3rd strike.
Yeah, with a 231, you know, the way he bowled in the last match, he could have been 100 pins down, but now he's only 17 down, and it's a good match.
And either of these guys capable of putting up a big number, so we could be in for an exciting finish. Our mailing address for you at home: Yankee Championship Bowling, 8 Commercial Street in Concord. Get those cards in. We had a big winner last week, Hazel Gorton, over in Rochester, who watches on the Yankee Championship Bowling Network station in Rochester, living at Chestnut Street. Hit us for $67, and Hazel will be able to spend those certificates at Shaw's, but we'll start with a $25 jackpot when we come back right after this.
Welcome back between our 2nd and 3rd games of a close match, kind of a low-scoring match for what we expected between these 2 bowlers, but Steve Vadney has a 248 to Allyn Joy's 231. We're going to go to our Lucky Roll segment. We'll remind you viewers to send your cards into Yankee Championship Bowling, 8 Commercial Street in Concord, New Hampshire. Last week we broke it down. We broke the bank for $67. It was Hazel Gordon out of Rochester, New Hampshire. We're back to $25. We'll turn it over to Jim.
Okay, thank you. And Allyn Joy hoping he gets into the final so he can pay for all the gas that he uses to come all the way from Maine to Concord, New Hampshire each time. Okay, step on over to lane 21. And we're bowling for Tiny Drew. Tiny's going to take her retirement off this show, I think. All right, Tiny, we know you're watching anyways. Tiny's a faithful viewer. Her and her husband, Bull. That'd be a television program. All right, a 7. We got $25 in here. Sometime, Tiny, I want you to have Rich and I over for supper. If I can't make it, I'll send Rich. What do we need? What was the pinfall anyways? I forgot. 7? What do we need, Rich? 7. All right. There we go, Tiny. All right, why don't we just total them all up, and at the end of the year, we'll send you one check. We got a check for $7 coming your way. We're going to add 8. We'll have 33 the next time around, and we still have one string to go. Allyn Joy and Steve Vadney coming up.
What's at him? Chance for him to get right back in this, but he has a split.
Vadney picks up another pin in the first box. Now leading by 18.
Here's a good ball. 5-pin. A good guide. That wood. That'll tighten it up even more. Steve have a tough box here to get a mark on. 4 horsemen plus the 6 and a 10. Oh, great shot. That's the
Best shot of the match.
That's the shot of the match, is right. Super shot. Came in a good spot for him, too. The big ball on it. Oh, there you go.
That puts a little bit of pressure on the defending champ right there.
Made a great shot for the spare and came right back with a strike on it. Allyn
Catch a break here.
Catch the big break. It's a 6. Could have been a 2.
Down to 12 pins, but he is facing a spare strike.
Allyn wants to go right on the head pin and push everything back. Pushed it back, but he didn't take out the 8-pin.
All right, he loses 6 pins. He now trails by 23. He really desperately needs a mark.
Yeah,
right
he's
here.
up against a strike. He needs some kind of a mark here. He chops through. Well, we've seen this leave several times here. We have the 3, 6, 10 with a 2-pin.
All right, Allyn Joy with a 42, Vadney with a 50 and 2 balls. So it's going to be well over 30-pin lead when he's down this frame right here.
Tough leave here for Steve. He'll try to get the 2 pins on the right, at least get a 9 on that strike. Fills it with a 9. Makes
And his lead now is 34 pins.
doubled his lead. Let's see if he breaks that up. No, quite. He has the 3, 6 with a 4-pin. Another lead we've seen quite a bit over the last few weeks. Oh, look at that shot off the wall. Comes right out in front of the 4-pin. Well, it's a spot for Allyn Joy. 2 opens opposite by Steve. He cut into that lead a little bit. Right through the middle. Tough box for Allyn. He's lost 3 more pins to Steve Vadney in that box. Trails now by
It's close to showtime. He needs
37 pins.
Needs a mark badly. Looks good.
There's a good ball. 4-7. Wood out in front. Wood looks good. Oh, what a break!
Time
Tough
to cash
break.
in the chips, I'd say, after that one.
It's a rough break. The wood went right around it. 7 pin never moved.
So heading into the final 4 boxes, he trails by 37 pins.
Boy, that was a rough box then.
That was tough.
He needed that spare. Steve Vadney chops through on alley 21.
Steve has a chance to put the hammer down, and he hasn't been taking advantage of it.
We're seeing a real subpar Allyn Joy today. Oh, Stevie, it's an 8 box.
Doesn't look like the same guy that hit the 195 2 weeks ago.
Steve has a 4 horseman plus the 10 pin. He made this box earlier and made the spare earlier when he had the 610 along with the 4 horsemen. Look at that, just like that. That could have been the clincher right there. We'll see. Nice shot. Allyn Joy on alley 21, right through the middle again. He's 38 pins down, Jim. 3 boxes to go. He needs a double strike, triple strike.
He said 5 open boxes.
It's going to have a very low total for him.
And I think we're going to have a new champion.
Well, it's very tough to repeat. He's won six matches in a row in the last 2 series. Against most of them were good bowlers he was up against.
Vadney's not going to finish with any outstanding numbers. He's going to be glad to get out of this one.
Oh, a 7 bug. Let's watch Steve's last spare. 4 horsemen plus the 10 pin. Now watch the head pin go over and kick out the 10 pin. Just a super shot. Fills it with a big 9. Steve wants that wood to roll out. Well, it's going to have to go right down in the pin. And he gets it.
Icing on the cake, if you will.
Light hit. Oh, Steve's not going to have a bad total here. I mean, nothing compared to his last one, of course, but he's going to be right up in 370 or so. Nice shot. Be around 380.
131 with the ball.
Yeah. Not bad.
Not bad at all. That 111 string prevented him from having a 400 triple.
36.
36. 384.
Not bad.
Not too shabby. That would have won just about every other match. Brutus had the 415. Steve had the 488. Emerson with a 395, but it's right up there.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Allyn Joy, 75 through 8 boxes.
And you're right, though, when you say that he won 6 matches against the best bowlers in the area.
Oh, yeah. I mean, law of averages got to him.
Yeah. You know he'll be back.
Yep. Oh, look at that tough split. 2 and a 6.
You don't very often go through a string and seeing Allyn Joy get 1 mark.
Oh, Allyn's going to be 320 odd for him.
Well, he fired a 368 against you. He fired a 364 against Phil King, so he really has not had outstanding
94
success.
and 325. So that's one of the low ones on our series.
So 384 to 325 is the final score. There it is for you at home, and that means we have 1 berth in the championship all set, and it's going to be I guess it's only appropriate that we have the current men's state champion.
He deserves to be there.
He deserves to be there, certainly does.
Sure.
And for Allyn Joy, just a tip of the hat to him. Some outstanding bowling on this program. He really has, and like you say, the law of averages catches up with everybody. And
right.
Allyn went a lot longer than a lot of bowlers have. Roland Bovair and Ed Emerson waiting in the wings. Who do you like in that one?
Well, right now, I think Ed Emerson is the heart of the 2 bowlers, but Roland showed me something in the last match when he got 3 or 4 clutch marks in a row to beat a hot Mike Brutus, so could be a real good match.
Well, we're going to get a chance to meet the bowlers here in just a moment. We'd like to pass along our address to you once again. Yankee Championship Bowling, 8 Commercial Street in Concord. Get those cards in, and you may be a winner. We are going to watch the jackpot grow to $33 when we come back for our second semifinal round match in just 1 week. We hope you can join us for that. We'll take this break and hear these words from our fine sponsors and come back. Rich will be down on the floor talking with Steve Vadney and Allyn Joy. All right, as we just mentioned before we went out, we have 1 bowler into the championship, and it is Steve Vadney, who is the reigning men's state champion and defeated Danny Murphy in the state championships recently. And his opponent will be either Roland Bovair or Ed Emerson. Let's go down and chat with our 2 bowlers. Here's Rich Migliani.
Well, thank you, Jim. We'll talk to Allyn. Allyn, after you won 6 straight matches over the last 2 series, you had to lose sooner or later.
Well, that wasn't good enough to win bowling like that against Steve Vadney.
Well, if you bowled 325 against me, you would have been nipping tuck. You would have won by a couple of pins.
I still would have beat you.
Maybe I would have given you enough confidence. I might have snuck one out on you.
I wasn't throwing a good ball. I was bouncing it off the line, and I usually throw a smooth ball.
You bowled yesterday in a Pro Tour down in Bradford, I guess. You had a pretty good total, did you?
1339.
Maybe you think you left something down there.
Must have thrown it all.
Well, Allyn, we have finally, after 6 shows, we're going to give you the lighter side of Canopin Bowling, compliments of Grapponi, and I know you'll enjoy reading that. And we have a check for you, and you just had made a lot of money on this show, paid for your mileage going back and forth to Portland, I know.
Well, thank you. I've had fun.
Great bowling.
Okay, thank you.
Steve, not a 488, but a good total.
No, we needed another string today.
Next week, 2 weeks from now, you're going to be bowling the winner of Ed Emerson and Roland Bovair. You know both of these bowlers?
Know them both.
Does it really make a difference who you bowl, or?
No. And I don't want to pick one.
Well, you know, too. What do you think? The winner of that match is going to get $1,000 and a loser $250. Does that make a difference?
Great.
On anything when you're bowling?
Great difference. I think you're thinking the difference, and you'll be up there, both of us, whoever it may be, shooting for it.
Well, you're hot right now, and Steve, you seem to throw that ball so effortlessly when you're throwing it, and you get a great action. I mean, did it take a lot out of you when you bowl, say, a 10-string total, the way you throw the ball, or doesn't really tire you out that much?
No, 10 strings by the time I'm at the end of 10, it's enough, but not as bad as some guys, I think.
Well, bring your best bowling with you, Steve. You'll be back in 2 weeks, and I see Jim up in a booth as one of our local favorites up there, Mr. Emerson. Let's see what both of them have to say about next week's match.
Okay, thank you, Rich. Who would you like to see win next weekend?
It really doesn't matter. I think it will be a good match.
How about Roland Bovair? You guys that go on the tour see each other a lot, bowl against each other a lot.
Oh, yeah. You know, every month there's a tour, and sometimes you don't get to see the guys because they bowl different shifts, and I happened to change my shift this time so that I could do the channel 12, and Roland was there, and I happened to bowl next to him. He does bowl real well, and I expect a good match.
When you bowl in a program like this, it's not like when you're on the tour and all the lanes are full. You're bowling head-to-head with a guy, and yet there's no defense in this game, but how the other guy does certainly has to affect you.
Oh, yeah, certainly. I'm sure most bowlers like to bowl in the last position, and because, you know, it doesn't make a difference. You have to get as many pins as you can, but just knowing what you need really helps.
Of course, coming out as John Potorsky did a couple weeks ago, and sitting there, and before he even gets up and throws a ball, he's got a double strike on him.
Better him than me.
That's right. And then, of course, he watched Vadney throw that 488 triple. Have you ever personally gone head-to-head against a guy and had him put up that kind of a number in the first string?
I probably have. I can't remember, yeah. But I've never done it.
People say that if you get a 195 in Bothwell's, it is really something to brag about. It's because it is such a tough house.
Well, all you have to do is look at the Allyn records, and you'll see that most of the scores are high scores, and people don't come close to them all the time, and they're up there for a long time when they're up there.
I know you do the managing over the B&L in Hillsborough. Do people, I guess, naturally think because you're the manager there, you get to bowl lots, but I imagine you're pretty busy.
Yeah, I bowl. I don't practice at all.
Yeah.
I don't have the time to practice. I do bowl in a lot of leagues and tournaments, but that's the only practice I get.
Listen, good luck against Roland Beauvais. Whoever wins next week has got a pretty tough opponent coming up in the finals.
Well, I hope that...
$1,000 would look good.
That's right.
I mean, let's be honest, huh?
I don't have to give it back to the company.
And Emerson, one of next week's two bowlers, along with Roland Beauvais. We hope you enjoyed tonight's matchup. Steve Vadney, 384, beating Allyn Joy, who had a 325, and Allyn just ran out of luck, and everybody loses sooner or later, and we tip our hat again to Allyn Joy for providing us and you at home with some fine bowling over the last two series, and I know we'll see him back. We hope to see you back next week. And Emerson and Roland Beauvais are here. For Rich Migliani, this is Jim Rivers saying so long from Bothwell's, and we'll see you next week here for the semifinals on Yankee Championship Bowling.